KP Video News. It's KP Video News, y'all.
Newsflash, newsflash, newsflash. 3 more Minneapolis officers charged in George Floyd death. Derek Chauvin charges are elevated. 3 more Minneapolis officers charged in George Floyd death. Derek Chauvin charges elevated. That's right. Finally. All right, here we go, folks. The day of the Geechee is over. 3 more former Minneapolis police officers were charged on Wednesday in the deadly arrest of George Floyd, 5 days after charges were brought against the 4th officer who was seen in the video kneeling on Floyd's neck. Former officers Tao, Lane, and Kung were facing charges of aiding and abetting murder, according to criminal complaints filed by the state of Minnesota on Wednesday. The murder charge against another former officer, Derek Chauvin, were also elevated from 3rd degree to 2nd degree murder. That's right. Get him. Chauvin, the officer who placed his knee on Floyd's neck for about 8 minutes while detaining him on May 25th, was initially charged Friday with 3rd degree murder and manslaughter by the Hennepin County prosecutor. All 4 officers were terminated from their positions with the department on May 26 after a video showing the detainment went viral. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, who has been appointed to the lead prosecution in the case, said, and MSN said in an interview Monday that he intended to charge the officers with the highest degree of accountability that the law and the facts will support. The Minnesota Fraternal Order of Police did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the elevated murder charge against Chauvin or new charges filed against the other 3 officers Wednesday. It was not immediately clear if the officers had representation. Multiple videos have been released on Floyd's arrest, with one showing him pinned down by three different officers near a patrol car, while the 4th stands near his head. Floyd can be heard pleading, "I can't breathe. Please, 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 I can't breathe." Floyd begged in one video caught by a bystander, "My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Please, please, I can't breathe." He died while in custody that day. Lane and Kung were the first officers to arrive at the scene that night as they investigated a possible fake $20 bill being passed at the Cup Foods grocery store, according to the criminal complaint against Chauvin. When Lane found Lloyd parked nearby, the officer pulled his gun, had the man get out of his car, and then handcuffed him, and the complaint against Chauvin said. The handcuffed Floyd was eventually put face down on the pavement, while Kung holding down his back and Lane pressing down on his legs. The charging document against Chauvin said, while a distressed Floyd said, "I can't breathe, mama, and please," several times, Lane asked, "Should we roll him on his side," according to prosecutors. "No, staying put where we got him," Chauvin responded, according to the complaint against him. I'm worried about excited delirium or whatever," Lane allegedly said. That's why we have him on his stomach," Chauvin responded, according to the criminal complaint against him. Several minutes later, Kung checked Floyd's right wrist for a pulse and had allegedly said, "I can't find one." The official autopsy from the Hennepin County medical examiner listed Floyd's cause of death as a cardiopulmonary arrest, complicating law enforcement's subdual restraint and neck compression. The medical examiner ruled that Floyd's death was a homicide, but it added that he had significant underlying conditions, including hypertensive heart disease, intoxication, and recent drug use. But an examination funded by Floyd's family reached a somewhat different conclusion. It found that police officers pressing on his neck and body cut blood and airflow to his brain, causing him to die by mechanical asphyxiation. pathologist hired by the family said the autopsy paid for by the family also found that Floyd had no other medical condition that contributed to his death. Benjamin Crump, the civil rights attorney representing Floyd's family, on Wednesday released a statement on behalf of the family. "This is a bittersweet moment. We are deeply gratified that Attorney General Keith Ellison took this decisive action, arresting and charging all the officers involved in George Floyd's death and upgrading the charge against Derek Chauvin to felony second-degree murder." That's right. Updated the charges against Derek Chauvin to felony second-degree murder. Crump said that he expected the charges to be filed against the other three officers and that the family's autopsy report was significant because it pays particular attention to the two knees at the back compressing his lungs. Since the beginning of 2015, officers from the Minneapolis Police Department have rendered people unconscious with neck restraints 44 times. In an analysis of police records, several police experts said that the number appears to be unusually high. The Minnesota Department of Human Rights on Tuesday filed a civil rights charges against the Minneapolis Police Department to launch an investigation. The probe will look at the department's policies, procedures, and practices over the past 10 years. That's right, to determine if it engaged in systematic discriminatory practices, Governor Tim Walz said. That's right. So, all four police officers have been charged in the murder of George Floyd. And Derek Chauvin, the one who had his foot on Mr. Floyd's neck, his charges have been elevated from third degree murder to second degree murder. And that's what I was stating with someone I was talking with a few days ago. That was probably going to be as high as they would go with the second degree. And that's good enough. That should be good enough for about 50 years in prison. That's right, folks. Update. All four charges, all four officers in the George Floyd death have been charged.
KPVIDEONEWS.
Peace, y'all.